This Monday I faced it again. Someone ruined my file with wrong data formatted. So in this week, we will cover everything you need to know about data validation. In this video, you will learn how to check inserted values for whole and decimal values, date and time, text length. Learn how to protect your tables from users. We start now. I hate when people are ruining my files, tell me that there is something wrong with the formulas, charts, tables, macros. And this is what I have found today. Have you found the defect? I will give you a hint. There is a small error in the cells per lead line. And this is because some talented person has inserted incorrect format into the sales flow. So we are going to insert validation rule so that before taking some data and insert it into this table so that chart will be generated correctly, user will need to make it numeral, delete all extra spaces and use correctly formulas, commas and dots. This is a common issue because the systems are given specific formats for the output data. But when you are copying that to some other, please check that you are using it correctly. So for this case, we are going to do the following. I'm going to select the whole line and we'll make sure that it's going to be inserted for the upcoming week. We'll select data and data validation. Here we are going to select the decimals. That will allow us to control what is inserted into the table. This will expect that we are going to receive as an input to our cells a number with some decimals, but it is going to be limited with two parts. First, it's minimum on maximum values, and the second, it is expected to be numeral. I'm going to select minimum as 10 because I'm not expecting to receive less than $10 in this table, and the maximum I would take 100,000. When I'm going to click OK and will check the problem value, it will give me an error. So I'm going to click Escape and we'll do one more trick. I'm going to select it one more time and we'll return back to data validation. So now I need to insert error alert. This one is going to be called number format and the error message is going to be please insert values from 10 up to 100,000. OK, after clicking OK, and if I'm going to try to insert it again, I'm going to receive the message that I've just inserted to the respect tab. So now let's make sure it's going to be corrected. As you can see, first, there is some extra spaces. Next one, dots and commas are used incorrectly. So now we have received the outstanding results. So this is a trick number one that saves tons of my nerves and my time and allows me to ensure that we are having a correct chart every day we are creating those. Before learning further what is data validation and what options we have to check which data is going to be inserted into the tables we are having, let's first learn what does data validation consist of. So I'm going to select again the same role and I'm going to click data validation. So by default, the menu consists of 3 tabs, and on the setting part, we are going to have logic of the data validation that we are going to use. On the input message, this is a hint that will be shown to demonstrate to the user which data we are expecting from his side to be inserted. I will show you here that please insert data numeral. And error alert we already tested. This is a pop-up message that will be shown to the user that has provided the information that stands outside of validation scope. We are clicking OK and now we are able to check. So this is the message that we have inserted on the second tab. As we have learned the basic logic of any data validation, so now let's move to some examples. For that purpose, I have created a table that consists of several tests that we are going to conduct. On the header, you are able to see which data we are going to check in every case. So first things first, whole numbers. We are selecting the table, selecting data validation, and choosing the whole number. As you may see, I already have prepared the test case, so we are going to check everything that stands between 10 and 15,000. Click OK, and now let's check. So one does not fit our case because we are accepting only values that are more than 10. 254. Yes, that's correct. we can proceed. The next case is 1378.5, and this also doesn't fit our logic because we're expecting to have only whole number without any decimal parts. So click in cancel. New York here, and it also doesn't fit us here because this is the text. The last part is 15,000, and it fits here because it's just on the edge of the test case. We're going to decimals. We have already tested, but before moving on, I would like to finalize it with you. So we're selecting decimals, and let's check what the test case for us is. Just the same as we were having for the whole numbers. So here we're having the same parts. So one we have learned that will not be fitting here, 254. Now 1378.5 fits because it's decimal. New York is still not there, and 15,000 fits us here. The next part is date. So I'm selecting the full column, data validation, and I'm going to select the date. Where we can use actually data validation as date. If you are having the dashboard that is representing 2020 year, you would like to have input there that will fit only this particular year. So basically we are going to have a start date as 1st of January 2020, and the last date will be 31st of December 2020. I'm clicking OK, and we are ready to start. So let's start with the first value. This is the date when the video will be on the YouTube, and it fits. 254 numbers, dates, will it fit? And I suppose not. I guess the same is going to be here. But wait a second, that fits. 43,879, that's the numeral representation of the date we were having in the first cell. This is an interesting case how we can use different formats to represent the same values, or understand the logic how Excel treats dates. We are going to learn it further in different video, so don't forget to subscribe not to miss that. So Monday. Monday is a date, but will it fit? Not. Because Monday inserted as a text, and text does not fit the date parameters. 44,000.5. I think that should be pretty same as we were having previously. It really fits. Why it happens? Actually 4400, it still matches the same year that we are currently in. The 0.5 represents the time, and this is a good time for us to check what we can do to validate the time inputs. So I'm going to move on to the next column. Here we're going to check the time, where we can apply data validation for the time. If you are having the service center orders or any triggers that you would like to control the time that you are expecting to have the inputs or outputs of the data, services, guests, clients, etc. And you would like to make sure that people will not sign into the time that you are not going to be available in. So here I choose a simple time from 8 in the morning until 1700. So this is the end of my working day. I'm going to click OK, and now let's test. The first things first, I believe that the current date is not going to fit because it's already after the end of the working day. 254, I believe it's gonna be also just a little bit more. Same date as in previous case. I think we are not going to match it because it still can be a date, but in terms of time, it is much more. Noon. Noon is the time, but will it fit it here? No, because the same logic as we were having in Mondays. It is the text, and text is not accepted. 0.5. I think this is some trick. If I'm going to convert 0.5 into the time format, I'm going to receive midday or 12 p.m. and that is fitting our time slot. So we have checked the time. How about text? For text, we are having rather interesting case because we are not having any text check, but we are having the text length check. So we're going to select equal to, and we're going to take 5. What does it mean? It means that it will check if the data I'm going to insert into the cell will be not more and not less than 5 symbols long. I'm clicking OK and I'm ready to start testing. India, 5 symbols fits us fully. 6 cell, we are having a number here, so if we are going to check this one, it fits. Still, we are having both numbers and text symbols, but together the number of the symbols is equal to 5. The number, it also fits us here because we are having 5 different numbers combined into the one value. How about this one? I also can see only 5 numbers, but it doesn't fit us here because we are having the dots in between. Dots make the whole number of 6 symbol long. Same story here. If we are going to check the value, we are going to see that it will pass our test because together with the dot inside, it fits 5 symbols. So we have gone through main aspect of the data validation. The only topic that we are missing here, this is a drop-down list, and we are going to share the video for that topic already on this Thursday. So don't forget to subscribe. If you found this video interesting for you, don't forget to like it, and see you in 2 days.